Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris, and this is Bar 911-970. And as always, I thank you for taking the time to want to listen to what I have to say. And this is another one of the dreams that I just had, and I want to share this with you. Now, obviously, I don't know what it means. Well, maybe I do know what it means, but I figured as soon as I woke up, I wanted to mention it as it's fresh in my mind. Now, keep in mind, this is just a dream. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is what it is. It's just my interpretation, could be my perception, so keep that in mind. The more I realize that dreams are more than just random thoughts, the more profound and the more like watching a movie they become. Because I remember ever since I was a kid, I mean, I used to always love dreaming. I used to dream all the time. I'd have nightmares every now and then, but most of them were just random things. I'm sure a lot of people have those kind of dreams where they just go all over the place and you don't understand them or you don't even remember them. I'm remembering them more and more. And the dream I had, as I understand it, is answering a lot of questions of where we come from, where we are. Now, of course, like I said, this is just a dream. It could be just entertainment for people. I'm not saying this is what is. But I get more and more dreams profoundly about where we come from. Now, obviously, if you know anything about any kind of religion or any kind of things that they talk about, is everybody comes from the one, the source. Whatever that is, I don't know, and I'm not here to have a video about that on this one. But we all supposedly come from one. And for whatever reason, we split apart, but we're still connected to the one. That's why we always feel things. That's what feeling usually is we feel that loss. And that's why no matter what we fill ourselves with, we always still feel empty and we always feel like we need more because there's more to life than whatever we have. I mean, you can pretty much think you have everything and you still long for more. So there's that emptiness that we try and fill with possessions or whatever. From what I'm understanding from the dream, or at least my interpretation of it, is that in a infinite universe where there's infinite possibilities and everything in existence or exists, if everything's already been here, how could anything have, first of all, have been created? That's an interesting part right there. But if we experience things, think about like all the shows like Quantum Leap, or even with X-Men's Days of Future Past, and so many other movies and TV shows where you go from one body to another, sometimes through dreams, sometimes through chance, sometimes through quote-unquote magic. And even in your dreams, you go from one place to another. You become a different version of you, or just a different individual altogether. Sometimes you see it from your perspective, sometimes you see it from somebody else's. And what if your dreams, you're not actually just randomly having thoughts, images into your brain? What if you actually, and again, this is just my dream's interpretation of what I was experiencing, so I'm not saying this is how it is, so keep that in mind, that when you close your eyes and go to sleep, because light travels so quickly, it could be anywhere in an instant, that you just become something else. In other words, when somebody or something is asleep, you take over their position or you become part of them and experience life in a different way. And I made a video a couple of days ago about the words coming home. And the dreams that I had, especially today, really just answered that question, or at least tried to. And we think about, for whatever reason, why we got separated from the source, the one, whether that be God, whether that be whatever, doesn't matter, or gods, whatever you believe or don't choose not to believe. We had to come from something. I mean, we exist, so obviously we came from something. What that is, maybe we just don't remember. And maybe that is the thing that happens, that when you either maybe through free will, or maybe there was an accident, or who knows, maybe sabotage something, we got separated. And with that separation comes the forgetfulness. Maybe it's on purpose. Who knows? But yet, because we feel this longing and this loss, we're always searching for a way to come back home. And you think about everything that we do, most of what we do is based on emotion, whether it's through fear, through anger, through love, greed, envy. We tend to do things based on several different types of emotions. Some are stronger than others, and some we focus on more than others. And somehow, I realize, at least in the dream, that one of the things that we think is the most positive can also be the most enslaving. And it was the first time I ever thought about this, and I think about this. The most powerful emotion that we have is love. But if you think about it, it could be also the most dangerous. Because wouldn't you kill or die for love? What if you love your religion so much that you're willing to kill and die for it? What if you love a person so much that somebody else hurt them and you love them so much you want to hurt more people? It could be a very entrapping emotion. And what if there are ways to control people, if that is a possibility, if that's even happening, where they use love because you don't understand it against you and keep you grounded so you never do go home? Because in the sense, maybe we all long to go back to the source, but maybe it's because of love that we really don't. Because think about it. If you love your spouse to the point where they're your soulmate, let's assume you found your soulmate and you absolutely love. Maybe you're not married to them yet. Maybe you're just with somebody. You love them more than anything. Would you leave them? What if you have animals and your whole life revolves around your cat or your rabbit or your dog or your guinea pig or your snake or your goldfish, your hamster? Would you let them go? What about your possessions? If you love your money, would you give it away? Or would you take your favorite car and just drop it down a mountain? Think about that. We love our possessions. I mean, like, for example, I have another channel about comic books. I guarantee you, if you have a love for comics, and if you listen to people, and I'm part of that, that you have a connection with your collection. It could be any collection. And you take such pride and joy in your collection to the point where you display it, you take care of it, you brag about it, you talk about it, you look at them, whatever they are. Just imagine taking your most valuable possession and just tearing it up or destroying it. You probably couldn't do it. So think about how love can actually be the main reason for your fact that as much as people want to go home to the source, they really don't. Because then you could lose everything that you are. Just think about vanity and the fact that you love yourself. The separation from whatever source is means that you are now an individual. And if you notice, especially these days, everything focuses on the me, me, me. I mean, look at YouTube channels alone. They're all talking about your own individual channel. Separation. And people really love themselves to the point where they don't technically want to lose it. But there's so many different things you can love that, like they say, the things you possess actually possess you. Now think of that word, possession. You have possessions, but also if you think of it spiritually, what is a possession? It's a control, it's a takeover. So that's where, if you think about the word in more meanings, and I've talked about several times in several videos about how words have several meanings, is you're surrounded by your possessions. You are controlled by your possessions, because look around your house if you are fortunate enough to have one. All the things that you own end up owning you, because you love them so much that you don't want to be separated from them. So even if a person is extremely religious, or believes that we all come from one, it's the love that we have for the things that brought us here for whatever reason that entrap us here. Because just imagine letting go of everything that you own, everything that you love. Just imagine if you own dogs and cats, or hamsters, or things, and you have maybe one right now near you, or on your lap, and you're petting them, or you're looking at them right now. The love that you feel for them. If somebody tried to hurt them, you'd probably want to hurt somebody else back. That's the power of that love. But I guarantee you wouldn't give them away because of the separation you feel. And the same thing with all your possessions, even people with high power that think they supposedly have everything. If they supposedly have everything, why do they continue to want more? It's that lust, it's that love for power, or for money, or for fame, that it's a black hole they can never fill. But yet, in a way, if you think about it, that's the best, easiest way to enslave a person. Yeah, fear can keep many people down. Threats, violence, things like that. But love, you could trick even the most peaceful of person into never going back. Makes you rethink things. Because supposedly we have the power to go home all along. Now I doubt it's as simple as clicking your heels 3 times. But if we have the power to go home, why don't we? And it's, if you think about it, it's the love that we feel that keeps us here. There is something that's keeping you here that you love, whether you admit it or not. That's either material, it's the love of yourself, the vanity for a loved one or loved ones. Because imagine if you have a high connection with your family. You'd never want to leave them. You'd never want to see them disappear. So it makes you rethink things. Now, obviously, the dream doesn't give me the answers, but it definitely made me see that love, as beautiful as it is, it's the biggest weapon out there because it is the most powerful thing. Fear can definitely get people, but love will get everyone. Very interesting thought that I had, and I had to share that with you. So, basically, the dream is basically every time, from my perception of it and the understanding of the dream, and I'm just, again, interpreting a dream. I'm not saying this is how it is. But every time you close your eyes, you actually are somewhere else because light travels at 186,400 miles per second, so it's almost instantaneous that you can end up somewhere else. And you become something else or someone else or another you. Because if you look at any of the movies now, especially, they're talking about other dimensions and other variations of everything and how it's infinite and how we entrap ourselves in something that is nothing more than just light energy. Because if you think about it, everything, there's no such thing as physical, because the more you look at something on a smaller molecular level, the more you realize everything comes from light. Everything is energy. It's energy vibrating at different speeds. The smaller something is, and the smaller you become, the more you magnetize it. Like if you put something under a microscope, you see a different part of the universe. And infinity means it goes forever small and forever large. So there is no such thing as physical. Not in the sense of what it really is. It's just light. That's why, like, for example, if you watch The Matrix, especially the third movie, as silly as people may think that is, if you think about it, when he goes back to the quote-unquote source, he sees nothing but light. In the beginning, he kind of sees computer images, but then he sees on a deeper level, a smaller level, basically. So I'm not going to make this a very long video. I'd love to know what you think about this stuff, because it definitely makes me think. And again, love is the most powerful thing, but can it be used as the ultimate weapon? Get you to surround yourself with things that you love, and you'll stay here for as long as you can. And if you had the ability to live forever in this body that you're in, you probably would choose to live forever instead of going back to wherever it is. And maybe the quantum leap theory is when you die, somebody else is just waking up from their dream and you just continue onward. You have the power to go home all along, but we choose not to. Now, whether that's true or not, who knows? Again, I'm just interpreting a dream. But I guarantee you, most people would have never, I don't know of any video or anyone that ever mentioned that love could be the most powerful weapon. Because look how much it consumes you and controls you. Because I challenge anyone to take something that they love and give it away. Not something they like, not something like, I can live with this. I'm talking about something you can't live without. You wouldn't be able to give it away. It would hurt too much. You'd feel that separation. But then those very things are what keep you here. Good or bad, it's just an experience. So if you're surrounded by the things you love, is there any wonder why you don't want to go anywhere else, even if it's better? Fear of the unknown, and that's where fear comes into play. So you take all of these emotions, which, by the way, you can't prove any of them other than what you feel. I mean, there is no body part that secretes jealousy. You think that love comes from the heart, you feel it there, but no one knows what love looks like, what it smells like, what physical thing it is, but we still experience it. Leave your comments. Let's see what you think about this. And I hope you enjoy this little insight, whether it's reality or just my dream. Who knows? That's not for me to decide for anyone else. But I appreciate you listening to what I had to say and love to hear your response. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you some other time. Enjoy your day.